Welcome back to SmartFit Method 101. In our last few segments, we've been discussing the different aspects of the 4 pillars of exercise that are important to optimizing our longevity. We've discussed strength in more detail, we've discussed stability in more detail, and today we're going to look at the third component, which is aerobic capacity. So when we talk about aerobic capacity, what do we mean? Well, generally we're referring to VO2 max. VO2 max is an important factor in longevity and actually becomes one of the strongest indicators to a healthy lifespan, along with things like grip strength and balance. It's important that we continue to hold a high VO2 max in order to be able to enjoy the things we want to do in our later years and to be able to do the things we enjoy right now. One of the great things about VO2 max is it's a calculation that we can actually present to our members and determine whether or not they are where they need to be in order to be able to do the things they want to do, not just today, but 2, 3, or 4 decades down the road. Now, these numbers are really important because they're the amount of milliliters that we can generate per kilogram of body weight to support our muscles' demands for oxygen. It's important to understand that if we want to be able to go out and hike, say the Dolomites in Italy, or play with our grandchildren, or hike up a hill in Torrey Pines, then we must have at least a 30 VO2 max. But if an individual has an average of, say, 36 in their 40s, and they lose an average of 15% of that VO2 max per decade naturally, without intervention of exercise, they're not going to have the capacity or capability to enjoy the things that they saved all their money in retirement to enjoy. So we emphasize quite strongly training properly to be able to improve our overall VO2 max. We can calculate this number and not only better understand it, but also better understand what we need to do to change that. This is going to allow us to have a much more robust retirement and enjoy our lives going forward. We call this also Zone 5 training. This is when we start to get out of breath. It's when we pass our threshold to be able to generate enough oxygen to support our muscles' demand. So it's very important that we incorporate some series of sprints into our exercise protocols each week. These sprints will help us improve our overall VO2 max.